Have you ever found yourself in a conversation where the words were just a small part of the story? Maybe you were chatting with a friend, and while they were saying, "I'm totally fine," their crossed arms and fidgeting fingers were screaming, "Help me! I'm trapped in a conversation!" Welcome to the fascinating world of body language, where our bodies often tell the truth when our words are busy spinning tales. Let's kick things off with a little history. Body language has been around since the dawn of humanity. Picture our ancestors sitting around a fire, grunting and gesturing wildly to show who was next in line for the mammoth steak. Fast forward a few thousand years, and we still rely on these non-verbal cues, often without even realizing it. It's as if our bodies have their own secret language, one that predates texting and emojis. If only cavemen had known that a simple thumbs up could have saved them a lot of grunting. So, what are the secrets of body language? Let's break it down. First up, we have posture. Ever notice how someone slumped over in a chair looks like they're about to fall asleep in the middle of an exciting conversation? That's because posture can convey confidence or insecurity. Standing tall with shoulders back, you're radiating self-assurance. But if you're hunched over like a question mark, chances are you're either feeling shy or just really, really tired. It's like your body is saying, "I'm not ready for this conversation. I'd rather be binge-watching my favorite show." Now, let's talk about eye contact, the ultimate nonverbal communicator. It's like the secret handshake of conversations. Too little eye contact, and you might come off as disinterested or shifty, like you're hiding a secret recipe for the world's worst casserole. But too much eye contact? You might intimidate someone, making them feel like they're being interrogated by a very persistent detective. The sweet spot. A comfortable balance, where you're making eye contact but not staring like a deer caught in headlights. And then there are gestures. We all have our own personal sign language, whether it's waving our hands around like we're conducting an orchestra or using a finger to point at our food like it's the most fascinating thing in the world. Gestures can enhance what we're saying, or in some cases, completely derail it. Ever tried to emphasize a point and accidentally knocked over a drink? Congratulations, you've just introduced an unexpected plot twist to your conversation. Let's not forget about facial expressions. They're like the mood ring of body language. A simple smile can light up a room, while a furrowed brow can send people running for the hills. It's fascinating how our faces can communicate emotions that words sometimes fail to express. For example, the classic resting face. We all have one. Some people look approachable and friendly, while others may appear like they're plotting world domination. It's all in the eyebrows, folks. Now, here's a fun fact. Did you know that mirroring someone's body language can create a sense of connection? It's like an unspoken agreement that says, "Hey, we're on the same wavelength." If your friend leans in while you're talking and you lean in too, it's like a little dance of camaraderie. But be careful. If you overdo it, you might end up looking like a quirky mime act. Speaking of quirks, let's delve into the world of personal space. Everyone has their own bubble, and it's essential to respect it. Invade someone's personal space, and you might as well be inviting them to a game of how uncomfortable can we make this? The general rule is that the closer you are to someone, the more intimate the conversation should be. So if you're discussing deep feelings, standing a little closer is okay. But if you're just chatting about the weather, maybe don't hover like a helicopter parent. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: cultural differences in body language. What's acceptable in one culture may be completely off limits in another. For example, In some cultures, maintaining eye contact is a sign of respect, while in others, it can be seen as confrontational. So if you find yourself in a conversation with someone from a different background, it's a good idea to do a little research. You don't want to accidentally offend someone by enthusiastically gesturing with your hands when they prefer a more reserved approach. And let's not forget the power of silence. Yes, silence is a form of body language too. Ever been in a room where the silence was so thick you could cut it with a knife? It can convey a million things: awkwardness, contemplation, or even tension. Sometimes, the best thing to do is to embrace the silence and let it speak for itself. Just be careful not to let it stretch into an eternity. That's when you can start hearing the crickets chirping in the background. Now, here's a little secret. Being aware of body language can give you a superpower in conversations. You'll be able to read the room like a pro and adjust your approach accordingly. If someone seems closed off, you might want to soften your tone or change the subject. If they're engaged and leaning in, you know you've struck gold. In conclusion, body language is a captivating realm that adds layers to our interactions. It's like a hidden script that runs alongside our spoken words, revealing what we truly feel. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation, pay attention to those subtle cues. Your body might just be spilling the beans while your mouth is busy keeping secrets. And who knows? You might discover a whole new level of connection with the people around you. Now, if only we could teach our pets to communicate through body language, we'd finally understand why they stare at us like we're the weirdest creatures on the planet. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and hit subscribe plus notifications for more new fascinating content. Be well and see you in the next video.